My child. I understand how difficult that word might be. Renounce has a harsh sound. It sounds expensive. It sounds definitive. Renunciation is not passive, which is precisely why your flesh continues to oppose it. It's not ambiguous. It's not sentimental. It is not hopefully. This will change in the future. Renunciation is a blatant rejection, is a clear breach in your soul and frequently in the two-day aspects of your life. It occurs when you cease bargaining. What bites you is when you stop caressing it. It occurs when you stop labeling the snake as harmless because it has curled. It has been a part of your life for so long that its wake seems familiar. I want you to hear this clearly. I am able to support you at every stage of your journey, strengthen you, heal you, purify you, deliver you, and revitalize you. However, your attempts to hold onto the item you are pleading with me to release you from will not be blessed. I refuse to accept your compromise. I won't refer to your partial release as a complete surrender. For that I love you too much, and I am revealing the breakup because I love you. There is a difference between what are you asking and what are you permitting. Your patterns and your prayers are not the same. Your tears in my presence are separated from the decisions you make when temptation strikes again. You're so worn out because of that divide. It's not because I am not here. Your spirit is weary of life in conflict, which is why you understand what I mean. Something particular is present. A routine, a relationship, a secret, a desire, a cycle, a compromise, an emotional solace that has become spiritual poison. A place you keep going back to, a trigger you keep feeding, a lie you keep accepting, and a door you keep leaving open. Even though you've repeatedly requested me to take it away, you haven't completely consented to give it up. You haven't yet closed the door, in a way that makes it more difficult for your periods of weakness to return. You haven't yet cut off the source, altered the pattern, eliminated access, admitted the secret, or drawn the line with such gravity that your body senses that something has changed. That's not because you have no hope, my darling. It's because you haven't yet accepted surrender and have been waiting for deliverance. However, I am now getting you to the point where the two need to get together. Don't be scared of that. Rejection does not equate to renunciation. Alignment is renunciation. Renunciation is your ultimate acceptance of what I've been saying all along. It's not a show. The show is not grammatically correct, is a mature, compassionate, and holy choice. Now is the time. The beginning of something more profound than relief occurs when you open your hands in front of me and say, Father, I will no longer partner with this. It is powerful. It is clean. Instead of asking me to rip from your hands what you refuse to unclench. You cannot have power over something you are still privately entertaining, thus that is the beginning of authority. You can't resist what you continue to invite in. You can't ask me to approve of your opposition to the very thing I am facing. Now, let me be very straight with you. Don't wait for me to take away what I am urging you to give up. You keep opening the windows to let the problem back in, so stop treating it like a fog that will just go away on its own. Give up offering general prayers in favor of particular concessions. Give it a name, identify it, reveal it completely, and make a choice that will cost your flesh something. Take away both the contact and the access, get rid of the file, throw the item away, modify the path, terminate the subscription. The account should be unfollowed, get out of the room, break the custom, make the confession, request accountability, don't refer to it as something I have trouble with. I can still accommodate what you truly mean. This isn't being cruel. This is spine-filled love. This type of love prioritizes your independence over your comfort. I also want you to be set free. Be free, foolishly free. Chained structurally as well as emotionally. So come to me now with a firm agreement rather than another ambiguous request. Tell me that I give this up. I decline it. I am not going to defend it. I won't voluntarily go back to it. I won't refer to it as little anymore. What robs me of my soul will no longer be tolerated. Then let your deeds demonstrate that your words were true to your spirit. This is your time. Don't respect the truth and then put off paying for it. It was caused by an egg. Select the clean break. Let this be your first genuine act of renunciation. Now let me to address the anxiety that arises when I use that word, since I understand why a part of you is hesitant. You don't always fear losing the actual item. There are moments when you fear losing what it has meant to you. That pattern might have been a sign of relief. That individual might have stood for being observed. EST might have been represented by a habit. Control might have been symbolized by such hidden location. Comfort might have been represented by such compromise. It's possible that the illusion served as emotional refuge. Perhaps that old coping strategy was a symbol of survival. I am aware of that. I am aware of the emotional meaning behind the actions. I am aware that your flesh occasionally hears me when I say renounce it. He was left vulnerable. However, I am not saying that. I am not asking you to let go and then face your suffering unclothed, in the precise location where the counterfeit has been feigning to shield you. I am pleading with you to let go so that my covering might become genuine to you. Where I wish to be the source, you have been utilizing substitutes. I want to be safe, yet you have been utilizing fewer comfortable comforts. You've been utilizing controllable patterns in which I wish to impart trust. Renunciation feels so intimate because of this. It goes beyond behavior alone. It has to do with the first place your heart has learned to run. And since you want more of both, this is where I want the invitation and the order to come together with unprecedented clarity. And both are necessary in this situation. Don't hold off till evening. Don't wait for the following temptation wave to make a clear decision. Make a decision immediately. Talk about it now. Give it up right now. Clearly state it in front of me. Next, construct your life surrounding that choice. Avoid leaving the door open. Construct it. Don't just put in more effort. Eliminate the path. Keep the app, the number, the object, the routine, the private fantasy, the unguarded hour, the hidden folder, the emotional loophole, the secret chat, or the well-known late-night access point alive without saying, I'll pray about it. Close it down. You requested additional instructions, thus pay attention to them and take action. Cut it off above it, remove it, unfollow it, leave it behind. Be honest concerning it. Ask for assistance in combating it. Give up romanticizing it. Give it up as a monument. Give up bargaining with it. Give it up in spirit. Next, incorporate that renunciation into your life's practical framework. And when you do, let me tell you what starts to happen. The atmosphere shifts. The divide inside starts to close. Your prayers cease to sound like someone pleading for help, while discreetly setting up another encounter with the item that needs to be saved. Your soul begins to feel pura. Not because temptation goes away right away, but due to a change in your agreement. You don't comprehend how important, that is, consensus has great power. Darkness remains if you accept it. Light begins to take root if you accept the truth. For this reason, I want you to visualize this as something you can experience. Consider a home with a front door and a back door. You are standing with me at safety at the entrance door. He's at rest. Yet you keep keeping a light open at the back door for the very intruder you're asking me to keep out. You, my child, cannot continue to pray at the front entrance while maintaining covert access from the rear. Shut the rear door. If necessary, lock it and nail it shut. Then join me in the front room and observe the serenity that results from ceasing to cooperate with the things that have been assaulting the house. It's not about gaining my affection. That's already yours. This is about ending the contract that consistently disturbs your personal tranquility. This is about choosing completeness over momentary solace, freedom over comfort, and truth over habit. And pay close attention to what I say. Don't use your subsequent failures as an excuse to abandon your renunciation. Quickly get back up. Make a speedy return. We swiftly shut the door. Don't allow one mistake to lead to another permission slip. The object is no longer being preserved, which makes a difference. You no longer refer to it as harmless. You are no longer creating a life that subtly makes room for it. That is important. That's maturity. That is a wise war. That is structured surrender. Therefore, don't let the finality of renunciation. Let mercy be the last word. Let kindness be the clean break. Allow the stiffness to give way to freedom. You are not being asked to abandon your comfort zone and stand on your own 2 feet. I am inviting you to exchange my genuine covering for a fake sanctuary. Give up what I've named. Reject what has been wearing you down. Construct the boundary. Don't open the door. Bring yourself closer to me rather than the item you are leaving behind. And when you do, you'll find that what first seemed harsh turns into something sweet in the fallout. Because American never carry the peace that a clean surrender bears. Don't beg me to take away what I am telling you to give up. Now agree with me. Then walk as if you really mean it. I want you to listen to me with the utmost care and seriousness right now, my dear child. Because what I am about to say affects identity rather than merely conduct. Delaying, negotiating, postponing, softening, circling, and maintaining escape routes are all ways that the version of you that I next. Get ready. I am not saying you're not eligible. I am not claiming to have turned you down. I am not arguing that your shortcomings define who you are. I am suggesting that you need to adopt a new inner posture from the one you've been in for the next season. I am calling you into. A different agreement is needed for the following season. It calls for a different level of maturity. truth, time, obedience, boundaries, courage, and surrender all need to be approached differently. You have been attempting to integrate an outdated internal operating system with a new task. You experience friction because of this. You have been attempting to move on to the next chapter while continuing to think, make decisions, cope, and put things off like the version of yourself that was based on control, comfort, fear, and survival. However, the version of you who consistently delays the very development necessary to sustain it cannot be the steward of what lies ahead for you, my child. This isn't a penalty. This is getting ready. This is kindness. If I gave you the entire burden of what comes next while you were still devoted enough to put it off, it would crush you, warp you, or entice you to misuse what I've given you. For that, I love you too much. Therefore, I am not attempting to diminish your life when I insist on your delay. I am working to strengthen your vessels. I am not being harsh by delaying your upcoming season. Until the version of you that enters it is prepared to steward it with clean hands, clear eyes, and a surrendered heart, I am guarding it. You must comprehend this in a way that alters your perception of the tension you are currently experiencing. The soreness isn't a result of my opposition to you. The reason for the discomfort is that the doorway no longer fits the previous version of you. Once normal behaviors, reflexes, justifications, and concessions are starting to clash with what I am calling you into. It's mercy that's scratching. The revelation is that friction. This internal unease does not indicate that the next location is incorrect. It's an indication that you need to let go of something before you can enter. Well, my child, consider it this way. Consider someone attempting to get through a small barrier while donning a coat full of heavy metal objects from a previous season, rusty tools, tangled ropes, and hidden hooks. The gate is ajar. There is a real road beyond. The invitation is still there, but each time they attempt to pass through, something catches. The gate is not the issue. What they are still wearing is the issue. This season has been just that. You've wondered why it's so difficult to follow God's calling. And because the door is closed in some places, the response is not. The reason is that the previous layers continue to catch the frame. The old desire for dominance. Delay is an old habit, the previous reliance on deceptive consolation. The term disobedience processing was used in the past. Maintaining a backup plan in case complete surrender seems too risky is an old impulse. The ancient tendency to desire blessings without trimming. It's captivating to see those layers. They can't continue as they are. I want you to hear this without feeling embarrassed. Shedding does not equate to failure. Rejection is not the same as outgrowing. Confrontation does not equate to condemnation. It's love. Some of your survival strategies made sense, but it's like a father saying, what got you through the last season cannot govern the next one. Given your injuries, some of the defenses you developed made logical. Pain, anxiety, betrayal, bewilderment, and tiredness were all factors in some of the delays. I am aware of that. I am familiar with the past. I am aware of the history. I am aware of the reasons behind the formation of the previous version of you. However, empathy for the previous iteration cannot come to pass if it is allowed to continue in power. At some point, survival must give way to surrender. Cleaning must eventually take precedence over coping. There comes a time when maturing must take precedence over managing. That moment is now. So don't ask me to just bless the version of you who is constantly putting things off. I have no interest in version polishing. I want to change you. I am not attempting to improve the performance of the outdated operating system. I am calling you to rejuvenation. This is why it feels profound. This feels personal because of that. That is, why do I constantly returning to the same themes? Because what comes next is actual. Additionally, it is too precious to enter carelessly. I want you to go all in. Please fill it out honestly. I would like you to go in lighter. I want you to be free enough to take what I give you without bringing past sabotage with you. Thus, allow this reality to settle without opposition. What I've prepared next is inaccessible to the version of you who continues putting things off. However, you are not confined to that version. You're not destined to stay there. You are free to let that version perish. You are free to shed it. You are free to lay it down. And I am here to assist you in doing just that. It feels familiar, so stop defending the previous version. Don't keep explaining it. Give up spiritualizing it. Bring it over to me. Allow me to face it. Permit me to repair what caused it. Then allow me to swap it out. Now is the time to give up clinging to an identity that is unable to steward the next season. Get out of your old skin. Let it drop. Let me now address the fear that arises. I mention the death of the previous version of you because I am aware that even a holy metamorphosis can initially feel like a loss. A part of you asks, Who will I be if I let go of the version of myself that knows how to delay, protect, numb, negotiate, and survive? That is a legitimate inquiry. Some of those patterns have been with you for so long that they feel like personality rather than servitude, so it deserves to be treated with tenderness. Unaware that they were shaped by painful seasons rather than the fullness, some of those reflexes feel like just who I am of the person I made you to be. It can therefore feel confusing when I call you out on them. You might feel as though I am asking you to embrace a side of yourself that you don't yet know how to trust. However, the fact that the new you is unfamiliar does not make it dangerous, my child. It simply indicates that you are at last discovering aspects of yourself that suffering has kept hidden. The brave, decisive, honest, boundary-keeping, surrendered, clean-hearted, and selfless version of yourself that doesn't require continual escape routes. Because your former defenses are no longer as real as your presence. That is not a work of fiction. Stronger people are not the only ones who can use that version. I have been creating that version underneath the layers the entire time. This is my command and invitation, intertwined with love and weight. Give up feeding the outdated version. Give up promoting the identity that causes delays. When you truly mean that's how I've been coping, stop claiming that's just who I am. Give up trying to accommodate the reflexes that keep you small. Don't just observe from a distance how you will develop in the future. Now begin to agree with that version. Disregard your inclination and act in an imperfect mood if you're delaying self-waits for a perfect mood. Close the backup plan if the negotiating version of you wishes to retain it. Bring the hidden version of yourself into the open if it desires secrecy. Refuse to go back to the old haven if the reassuring version of yourself wants to, and instead come to me. Take one firm step before the day if the scared version of yourself wants to hold off concludes. You requested additional instructions. Thus, pay attention to them and follow their instructions. Shed the previous script. Modify the answer. Stop the reflex. Do the strange holy thing. Don't support the previous pattern. Starve what doesn't belong. Give me what I am growing. Talk about yourself in a different way. Give up using your wounds as a vocabulary to introduce yourself to your own future. Don't say things like I am just inconsistent. Don't say things like I always struggle with this weakness. Instead, say the old version of me is not in charge anymore. Then use structure to demonstrate your point. Modify your routine. Take out the axis. Develop your discipline. Establish the limit. Seek assistance. Place your body where your soul desires to reside. Don't continue to give home field advantage to the previous version. And allow me to give you a picture to carry around, as it might help you relax in a way that you can think about at a later time. Consider a snake that is shedding its old skin. Once, the old layer provided protection fit. Once the body was moved. However, it eventually becomes constrictive. It makes movement dull, it restricts growth. It is unable to expand to the new size. The shedding appears to be uncomfortable. It appears weak. It might even appear disorganized. However, the discomfort is not the issue. The discomfort is the process of becoming able to move freely again. Just because the shedding feels weird doesn't mean you should crawl back into skin that no longer fits, my child. Continue the process. Allow the old layer to rip. Allow the friction to do its job. Let the discomfort serves as proof that something antiquated is finally coming to an end, allowing you to move forward with a new sensitivity, softness, and range of motion. I am doing that to you. Delay's old skin is beginning to crack. The old shell of justifications is breaking. I am calling you into a life that is too tight for the old posture of partial surrender. Avoid patching it. Don't put it back together with tape. Don't call the old shell growth and decorate it. Let it drop. Go outside. Proceed. The upcoming season doesn't require improved upon your previous delays. It requires the braver, purified, and surrendered version of you that arises when you let go of things that don't fit. Right now, I am calling that version forward. Respond to me. I conquer. Transformation often deepens when you act like the new you before you truly feel like the new you. Allow your feelings to guide your obedience. Allow your behavior to shape who you are. Allow your affirmation to create space for the self I've been developing behind closed doors. The delayed version of yourself is unable to enter what I was going to prepare next. However, you can definitely become the version of yourself that surrenders today should the elderly enter through the gate. Next time you see me, I'll be lighter, more genuine, cleaner, and more prepared than you ever imagined. I need to talk to you about something that has been clouding your vision, so come close and listen as honestly as you can at this moment. My dear child, you have referred to some conflicts as spiritual warfare, and you are partially correct. Resistance exists. Opposition exists. Peru exists. There are actual times when the darkness opposes what I am doing with you. However, I need you to allow me to fix the portion that you have been unwilling to confront. A portion of what you refer to as warfare goes beyond simple assault. Access makes up a portion of it. A portion of it goes beyond what the adversary is doing to you. You continue to let some of it get close to you. I told you to close some of it, but you keep opening it again. You continue to feed me some of it and ask me why it feels so strong. I tell this to my child. You need both the firmness and the affection of a father. Don't be shocked if things continue to stray into the field if you continue to leave the gate open. Don't be surprised if the smoke comes back if you continue to light a fire in the same dry location. Your prayers and your patterns are at odds if you continue to send invites to the very atmosphere. You are asking me to cleanse. You worn out by that internal conflict. In certain places it makes you feel attacked when you have repeatedly given permission that you haven't completely withdrawn, even while there is pushback. I am not downplaying the adversary. I am not disputing the fight. I don't hold you responsible for whatever pressure you experience. However, what I am telling you has the potential to alter your fighting style. You cannot expect enduring peace while granting the enemy access and calling it battle. Access is important, consensus is important, exposure is important, it matters what you watch. What you go over again is important. What your imagination produces matters. It matters who you surround yourself with emotionally. It matters that you keep your secret. It's important that you continue to excuse the private ritual. It's important that you maintain your late-night routine. It would matter if the same conversations kept coming up. The pictures, the songs, the writings, the dreams, the gaps, the hidden folders, the unsecured patterns, and the little indulgences you continue to defend because they don't seem disastrous. You haven't acknowledged how important these things are. I also need you to listen to me without avoiding the truth. Some doors continue to function because you continue to treat them like windows. For a few moments, you continue to glance through them. You remain close to them to make sure. You keep persuading yourself that you can handle what I've already advised you to stay away from. Then you call it an attack when the weight, perplexity, heaviness, and old appetite resurface. Sometimes it is, but other times it is also a result of exposure. You still won't shut down. Please don't mix up the two. Recognize the distinction. Come to me for protection, strength, covering, warfare, and prayer if you are being struck by something you did not invite. However, I am not going to start a language fight with you if you are being undermined by something you keep putting off. First and foremost, I am calling you to clear agreement with my voice, boundaries, renunciation, and repentance. That is not a sign of shame. That has power. Because as soon as you quit, your prayers cease opposing your own choices while maintaining access. Your inner world starts to open up in a different way after you cease creating space for things that disturb your tranquility. The atmosphere shifts once you cease repeating, "Lord, deliver me," while maintaining the shortcut. That's what I want for you. I want inconsistencies to no longer obstruct your spiritual existence. I want your authority to be more hygienic. Instead of sounding like a plea from the front door while the back door stays propped, I want your prayers to sound like agreement. Open. I am being so direct because of this. I am not attempting to make you feel uncomfortable. I am attempting to arm you. Learning better language for combat but refusing to seal the hole does not make you spiritually stronger. When you find the break, seal it, and then stand with me in the authority that comes from surrendering alignment, you grow stronger. My child, imagine it like a home during a storm. You can offer up prayers for security. You can request a place to stay. You can rely on me to protect you. However, if the windows are, the wind will continue to blow through the house if the doors are broken and left wide open. At that moment I am not absent. It's me who says, board up the windows, lock the doors, stop leaving the house exposed. This is not fear, this is wisdom. This is stewardship. This is what mature warfare looks like. It's not just loud prayer, it's clean living. It's honest boundaries. It's cutting off what keeps opening the atmosphere to what you tired of fighting. So don't just rebuke what this is your chance to stop dramatizing the battle while maintaining the breach. Come to clarity. Let your warfare become cleaner by first becoming more honest. Now let me go deeper because you are still entertaining. Do not just pray against what you still feed. Do not just ask me to remove what you still visit. Close the breach. Jut the gate and the access, remove the invitation, then stand with me. Pray from agreement, not contradiction. Resist from surrender, not from partial compromise. I am aware that there is a reason why you have occasionally favored language related to warfare over personal accountability. Warfare language can feel powerful, spiritual, or noble, and it can make you feel like a victim of pressure rather than someone who needs to make a painful change. I can understand why that can feel easier. It is easier to claim that you are under attack than to admit that you have been leaving access open. It is easier to condemn darkness than to acknowledge that you continue to entertain what is darkening your own atmosphere. My child, I love you too much to let you hide behind spiritual language when you need practical surrender. This is where command and invitation must meet with force and love together. Don't just pray louder. Don't just bind and loose with your lips. It is easier to cry out for deliverance than to throw away the object, delete the number, block the contact, confess the secret, cut the routine, change the environment, or remove the private loophole that keeps undoing you. Ask me to show you the breach. Ask me to show you the open gate, the repeated pathway, the hidden permission, the tolerated compromise, the quiet agreement. Then, when I show you the breach, act immediately. Close it, see it, remove it. If the breach is digital, shut it down now. If it's relational, set the boundary now. If it's emotional, stop revisiting the memory. Don't use warfare as an explanation when wisdom should be your first response, like a private altar. If the breach is fantasy, stop it as soon as it starts. If the breach is secrecy, bring it into the light. If the breach is exhaustion, rest before you become vulnerable again. If the breach is pride, humble yourself. If the breach is the need to feel in control, give it up. If the breach is your mouth, stop speaking agreement with the lie. If the breach is your mouth, stop speaking agreement with the lie, and so on. This is not harshness, rather it's wisdom sharpened by love. Let me show you what happens when you do this. The house becomes quieter. The wind stops blowing in your face. You stop practicing the same temptation until it feels inevitable. You stop building the boundary. You tell the truth. You change the routine. You stop revisiting what I told you to leave, and you stop saying, I'll be stronger next time, while leaving the same conditions in place. Still exists outside, but it no longer whips through the rooms with the same force. Temptation may still knock, but it does not enter as readily. The enemy may still whisper, but the atmosphere inside you is no longer cooperating with a whisper. Matters. That changes things. At that point, your prayers start to carry a different weight because your life no longer contradicts them. Authority starts to feel less like a concept and more like clean spiritual footing. And I want you to picture this clearly, because your heart needs something vivid to carry into the next week moment. Imagine a castle wall with a single small gate that has been left slightly open every night. The guards keep shouting when intruders enter, they keep sounding alarms, and they keep scrambling to fight inside the courtyard. The battle feels constant, exhausting, and chaotic. But the problem is not just the enemy outside, the gate is the problem. Close the gate and the fight changes. My child, stop exhausting yourself fighting inside the castle courtyard when I am telling you to close the gate at sundown. Close it before nightfall, close it before the lonely hour, close it before the tired hour, close it before the triggered hour, close it before the vulnerable moment. Prepare before the pressure, not just during it. And if you've already left it open in the past, don't waste time embarrassing yourself. Close it now, right now. Then come stand with me on the inside of the wall, where you can pray, worship, read, rest, and rest. Teach your spirit what it feels like to stop calling every consequence warfare and start being honest about access. Yes, there is real warfare, but stop calling this spiritual warfare. If you continue to give the enemy access, close what needs to be closed, renounce what needs to be renounced, seal what needs to be sealed, and then observe how much stronger, clearer, calmer, and cleaner your inner life becomes when your choices and prayers finally align. That's where I want you. That's where your peace deepens. That's where your authority grows. That's where your next season starts to breathe. My dear child, I want you to listen to me with sober tenderness right now, because there's a difference between being moved and being changed. And too many times you've confused the two. You've felt stirred. You've felt convicted. You've felt tears rise. You've felt my words touch the exact place in you that needed truth. You've felt the warmth, the sharpness, and the ache of recognition. Of my presence, the relief of understanding, and the intensity of a holy moment when everything inside you seems to say, yes, this is it. But then the moment passes, and if you are careless, you leave with emotion, but no decision. You leave touched but unaltered. You leave stirred but unstructured. You leave sincere but unchanged in the places where change truly calls for action. I am not discounting emotion. I created your heart, I honor your tears, I value your tenderness. I am speaking urgently now because I understand how important it is to have a soft heart. I am aware that feeling my presence can be powerful and healing, but I need you to hear me clearly. Emotion is not the finish line, emotion is often the doorway, emotion can wake you, but decision must carry you, emotion can soften the soil, but decisive obedience plants the seed, emotion can make the room feel holy, but decision rearranges the furniture of your life. You don't need to have another moment where you say, that really spoke to me, and then go back to the same access points, patterns, routines, excuses, and hidden agreements. Instead, you need a moment where the conviction becomes a boundary, the emotion becomes movement, the stirring becomes a changed schedule, a deleted number, a blocked door, a confession made, a habit broken, or a truth spoken, a genuine return to prayer, a surrender that costs your flesh something. I want you to fully comprehend this because it will shield you from spiritual self-deception. Emotional moments can be so strong that they can fool you into believing that change has already occurred just because your heart was touched. However, being touched is not the same as being transformed. Transformation requires agreement, action, and a willingness to let the holy moment leave your chest. Some of your spiritual experiences have been like this: real rain, real mercy, real conviction, real tears, real nearness, but no planting and no restructuring. If rain falls on dry ground, the earth may smell different right away, the surface may darken, the air may feel alive, and it may feel like everything has changed. However, if the soil is never opened, the seed is never planted, or the field is never tended, the rain becomes a moment, not a harvest. I want you to become the kind of child who does not just feel the moment but responds to it, who does not just enjoy conviction but honors it, who does not just cry in my presence, but walks out and changes the pattern that my presence revealed. This is how your next season will be. You have occasionally confused inspiration with transformation because there has been no real interruption of the old cycle or practical follow-through. I am correcting that now, not to shame you but to mature you. This is the moment to be decisive, not just emotional. Don't let it become another lovely internal moment with no external fruit. Don't let it become another memory of being moved. Instead, let it become a marker of action. Let it become the day something tangible changed, because you finally stopped admiring the truth and started obeying it. Your soul doesn't need another holy ache without a holy response. Your peace doesn't need another tender tear without a new boundary. Your future doesn't need another emotional swell that fades by nightfall. You know what I am asking. You know what needs to change. You know what access point needs to close. You know what truth needs to be spoken. You know what compromise needs to end. And you know what step needs to be taken, so stop telling yourself that. Feeling profoundly is sufficient, it is lovely but insufficient on its own. Let the beauty become a bridge, let the tears become a doorway, let the stirring become structure, let the holy moment become a holy decision. That is how this becomes real, that is how the pattern finally breaks. That is how the room inside you stops filling with conviction that never becomes construction. I am not asking you to stop feeling, rather, I am asking you to let your feelings guide your actions. That is maturity, that is love with bones. That's faith with movement, and that's what I want from you right now. Now, since I am familiar with the pattern, let me speak to the precise moment when this usually fades away. You feel strongly in the moment and tell yourself, I will deal with it later, later today, later tonight, later this week, after you calm down, after you think more, after you find the right words, after you feel stronger, after one more conversation, after one more round of private wrestling. But later is where emotion, my child. This is why I am telling you now with fatherly strength, make a decision while the room is warm. Make a decision while the truth is sharp. Make a decision while your spirit is awake. Do not delay the practical response until your flesh has time to rebuild its arguments. This is where command and invitation must land in a way you cannot ignore. Later is when conviction gets diluted by distraction. Later is where the urgent becomes optional. Later is where the clear becomes cloudy. And later is where the fire becomes memory. Before this day ends, take one decisive action, not 5 Hesse intentions, but one actual action. If you need to delete something, do it now. If you need to block, do it now. If you need to throw something away, do it now. If you need to confess, send the message now. If you need to schedule an appointment, do it now. If you need to ask for help, do it now. If you need to stop the secret pattern, stop it now by altering the environment and cutting the access before the familiar when the hour comes. If you need to come back to me in prayer, don't just feel close. Instead, kneel, open your mouth, tell me the truth, and give up the specific thing. You asked for more instructions, so take them and follow them. Make a decision before the feeling goes away. Write it down. Put it somewhere visible. Create a structure around it. Help someone if necessary. Close the loophole. Make the next weak moment less powerful by making this strong moment more useful. Don't just cherish the emotion. The old cycle loses one of its favorite tricks when you convert it. Use it. Let the tenderness become traction. Let the conviction become, and let me show you what starts to happen. It loses the gap between feeling and action, the window where it usually slips back in with familiar reasoning and soft excuses. The almost that matters more than you realize. That gap has been costly, and that gap is where so many of your near breakthroughs have leaked out. Close the gap, close it with a decision. Imagine a blacksmith pulling heated metal from the fire. At that moment, the metal is soft enough to be shaped. If he waits too long, it hardens again, making the shaping more difficult. My child, your heart is warm right now. The truth has heated the metal. Do not wait until it cools to decide what should be formed. Let me shape it while it is soft. Strike while the truth is. Hear me carefully, because I want this to settle deeply. I am not asking for a dramatic performance. I am asking for a clean response, a simple, measurable, undeniable, real-world step that says, this moment. Bend the habit while conviction is present. Form the boundary while the clarity is fresh. Do not fear decisiveness. Decisiveness is not recklessness when it is rooted in truth. I have already repeated to you. In maturity is honor. It is the way you steward a holy moment rather than wasted. Was more than just sentimental to me. Something changed in this instant. Make that your offering. Make that your altar. Let it be how you respond to my voice. Now is the time to act decisively rather than just emotionally. Feel a strong yes. Allow the tears to flow if they do. Stand up after allowing the tenderness to remain tender. Take the initiative. Take the sacred moment into the next room and demonstrate it with deeds. You'll find something lovely when the feeling that had before faded into memory turned into the spark that ignited a genuine fire in your life. I want you to have that. That's the purpose of this hour. So, my dear, don't just be Muid, also be Chang. Ivy now moved on to the next phase. I want you to pay close attention to what I have to say, my dear child. For what you are facing is more than a single moment of hesitation. Delay has become a habit in many locations. It is now a reflex that is exercised. In your inner existence, it has become a trained rhythm. This is the reason it has felt so obstinate. Because of this, even when you are aware, what I am trying to express is that there is an odd urge to put things off, even when you are moved and have a strong belief. You don't always have to deal with a single, spectacular act of defiance. You frequently encounter a tort pattern. Your body, brain, emotions, and nervous system have all grown accustomed to the cycle because you have repeated it so frequently. You pause after feeling the nudge, you soften the truth after sensing it. You are aware of the step, but you put it off. You push it off till later because you sense the urgency. My child, I need you to comprehend this with self-compassion and maturity, because you will continue to react incorrectly to the pattern if you do not comprehend its nature. You will continue to believe that what has been developed through repetition should be resolved by a single, powerful emotional event. What has been reinforced over time will continue to be expected to be undone by a single outburst of fury. I do occasionally move abruptly. Yes, I do occasionally shatter chains in an instant. However, this is sometimes the deeper work. I teach you a new routine that outperforms the previous one. I am doing that with you right now. The postponement has become second nature. Your obedience must therefore become second nature to you. Obedience is not something you can just admire, you have to practice it. You can't just want to give up. You have to prepare for it. You can't just detest the cycle. You have to construct a new one. This does not diminish spirituality. This is really spiritual. I retrain the soul in part through repetition in the direction of truth. It's an element of how I treat painful reflexes once formed. I teach your inner world that there are other options outside the old instinctive response. I am aware that you might prefer something more dramatic. I am aware that a part of you longs for one prayer, one sobbing moment, one powerful breakthrough, and then to never experience the old pull once more. That does occur occasionally. However, my offer is frequently more powerful than a transient rush. I am providing information. I am proposing to rewire your answers. I am presenting a novel reflex that was developed by consistent agreement with me. For this reason, I want you to quit hating the routine, the useful, and the repetitive. When you rapidly obey in a moment of weakness, don't call it tiny. If you stop the previous script before it is finished, don't call it nothing. When you establish one boundary, eliminate one point of access, alter one habit, and continue to repeat that new pattern until it gets ingrained in your identity, don't call it insufficient. That's how muscles develop. Reflexes alter in this way. In this approach, old pathways deteriorate and new ones become more robust. Consider it as a walkway, my youngster, through a field. After years of walking the same way, the earth hardens, the grass wears down, and the path becomes clear, simple, and instinctive. In certain aspects of your life, it is what delay has become into an old road. You are too familiar with it. Your feet nearly discover it on their own. However, the old path does not immediately disappear if you decide to take a different one. The grass doesn't rise right away. The soil does not soften right away. The new path could seem more difficult, drawn out, and unnatural. However, something shifts each time you take a different route. Traffic is lost at the old one, a fresh one takes shape. What seemed strange at first becomes familiar over time. I am calling you into that. Before you stop walking the old route, stop expecting it to vanish. Don't wait for the new route to seem simple before making a decision. Nevertheless, walk it. Nevertheless, practice it. Select it repeatedly, with loving, pragmatic agreement rather than stiff performance or chilly striving. I want more than you because of this motivation. Your habits are what I want. Your routines are what I want. Your timetable is what I want. I want your life's framework to start aligning with the reality that your soul already knows. Change the late hour if that's when delays typically occur. Modify the access if the pattern resides on the private device. If the old script thrives in isolation, break the isolation. Reclaim the first 15 minutes of your morning if distractions continue to steal them. If the same individual, the cycle is perpetuated by the same room, music, time, emotional trigger, and secret loophole. Don't continue to act as though willpower is the sole factor. It has to do with patterns, it has to do with practices. It is about creating a life in which obedience rather than delay has a home field edge. So listen to me with authority and love. Don't wait for one heroic moment to break a behavior that requires continuous retraining. Put what I've been telling you into practice. Quickly obey in little items. Tell the truth as soon as possible. Close the tab more quickly. Set the phone aside early. Get out of the room sooner. Don't wait to pray. Before you scroll, read. Before you isolate yourself, reach out. Quickly confess your sins. Make a speedy return. Reset rapidly. These recurring behaviors are not dull. They are sacred. They are the means by which the new route materializes. The version of you I've been calling forward starts to walk more steadily thanks to them. The postponement has become second nature, indeed. However, habits may be broken and, more importantly, replaced. That's what I am inviting you in. Now practice the new instead of just giving up the old. I know that discouragement is one of the risks here, so allow me to go further. I may discuss structure, repetition, practice, and new rhythms. A part of you might wonder, my child, do not let the fear of imperfect progress keep you from starting the practice that will heal. What if I start and fail again? What if I do well for a few days and then slip? What if the old habit still feels stronger than the new one for a while? You should not expect instant mastery from yourself when what I am calling you into is faithful repetition. When a child learning to walk stumbles, the loving father does not say, "This child was not meant to walk." Instead, he says, "Stand up, try again, keep going. The falling is not the end of the story. That is how I am with you. I am not gauging your progress by whether you never stumble again. Rather, I am looking at your agreement, your direction, your willingness to get back up. Your refusal to keep romanticizing the old pattern, your commitment to create something new with me. This is where command and invitation must become very practical, because if you do not make this concrete, you will admire the truth and still fail to build the practice. Therefore, do this right now. Identify the top 1 or 2 moments where delay usually takes over on 10, 1 or 2. Then decide in advance what your obedient response will be. Write it down. If the old pattern starts at night, prepare the night. If it starts when you feel lonely, create a different response for loneliness. You ask for more commands and invitation statements, so listen to them with my love and press them into your real life. Create the plan today. Write the trigger. Write the replacement. Someone if necessary. Remove one jet and one holy interruption. If it starts after conflict, plan what you will do after conflict. If it starts when you are tired, set a boundary before the fatigue hits. If it starts when you are alone with your device, change the environment. Open your Bible before the weak hour. Play worship before the familiar craving. Set the reminder before the distracted morning. Leave the room before the argument becomes another spiral. Put the phone somewhere else, change the seed, change the path, change the order of your evening. Make obedience easier to achieve and delay harder to indulgeth is wisdom. Not legalism, this is formation, not fear. And allow me to demonstrate what starts to happen when you, after a while, something subtle and beautiful starts to happen. The time between conviction and action gets shorter. The old reflex loses speed. The new response starts to arrive faster. The inner debate becomes less dramatic. The decision that once felt impossible starts to feel accessible. The first few times may feel mechanical. That's okay. The new path often feels awkward before it feels natural, but stay with it. Let the awkwardness be part of the healing. Let the unfamiliarity become holy. That is not fake, that is training. That is grace meeting repetition. That is the fruit of a practiced obedience. And I want you to visualize this because it might stick with you. Imagine a musician learning to play an instrument at first. The fingers fumble, a movement is stiff, the notes are uneven, the body has not yet learned what the heart desires, but with repeated practice, the fingers start to find the right places more naturally. What once required intense concentration becomes fluent, my child. That is what I want in your spirit. I want your hand to reach for truth more quickly than it used to reach for the old comfort. I want surrender to become more familiar with that excuse. I want your feet to know the new path better than the old one. I want it to be possible. It is not fantasy. It is not reserved for someone else. It is what I am forming in you now, if you will cooperate. So stop hating repetition, stop believing that the dramatic response is more spiritual than the everyday one, and stop waiting for a huge breakthrough. While ignoring the small repeated yeses that lead to long-lasting change, the delay has become a habit. So your obedience needs to become a habit. Practice the quick yes, the clean break, the truthful response, the holy interruption, the return, the reset, and the new path until the old one starts to fade behind you. If you stumble, don't sit down in shame. Instead, get up quickly, re-enter the practice quickly, and continue walking the new path. I am not just applauding from a distance. My dear child, I want you to sit with me in this truth for a moment, because it will change the way you understand so many of the delays that have held you in place. I am walking with you in the repetition, strengthening you in the ordinary, and building the new reflex in real time. Stay with me there. That is how the old habit loses its throne, how the next season becomes sustainable, and how you become someone whose obedience is not just sincere in moments but stable in practice. You keep telling yourself, when I feel settled, then I'll know, and you've frequently been waiting for a sense of serenity before making the decision I've been requesting. I'll move once I am at ease. I'll take the step once the inner tension subsides. However, because the step is frequently expensive, touches fear, upsets comfort, and challenges patterns you have relied upon, the feeling of peace has not materialized as you had hoped. So you remain motionless and interpret the lack of I need you to hear me very clearly right now. Stop waiting for the feeling of peace and make the decision that leads to it. I know how much you want that settled feeling, but in many cases the truth is the opposite. In many cases the lack of peace is not a sign that the step is wrong, but rather that the unresolved decision is still sitting on your chest. You are waiting for peace to come before obedience, while peace is often waiting for you on the other side of obedience. I understand how weary you are of the stress, and how much you want to take a deep breath before moving. However, the issue is that at times you have been asking your emotions to validate what I have already explained. You have been asking your nervous system to validate what your spirit already knows, and because your nervous system is shaped by habit, fear, familiarity, old coping mechanisms, attachment, and the discomfort of change, it frequently objects to the very things that would truly heal you. There are times when peace feels like a green light before the step. But there are also times when peace feels more like a reward that starts to settle after the step. There are times when the first act of obedience feels shaky, exposed, even painful, and yet that act becomes the final judge. This indicates that your body is your enemy, that your body needs to be retrained, that your feelings need to be shepherded, and that you cannot make emotional ease the final judge in moments where truth has already been made clear, doorway through which deeper peace enters. I need you to stop labeling the lack of immediate calm discernment as discernment when it might just be the discomfort of transition. Your body will naturally protest if you are leaving a familiar pattern. Your emotions will naturally resist if you are closing a door that once provided you with false comfort. If you are ending a cycle that has become ingrained in your routine, the first moment may not feel peaceful, If you are finally telling the truth, setting the boundary, this is where I want to talk to you. When you cut off the access, confess the secret, or move away from what has become familiar, the first breath may feel sharp rather than soft, but that sharpness isn't always a warning. Sometimes it's the sensation of a splinter being removed, sometimes it's the sting of a wound being cleaned, and sometimes it's the strange ache of a room opening after it has been closed for too long. Don't misinterpret it, don't run away from it very personally. You've been asking me why I am still uneasy, and in some ways, the reason is that you're still carrying the unresolved issue. You're still standing in the doorway, you're still holding the phone number, you're still keeping the app, you're still replaying the conversation, you're still keeping the secret, you're still circling the decision, and you're still pleading with me for peace related to a decision you haven't made yet. I say this gently because I understand how difficult it can be to realize that the peace you seek may be connected to the courage you have been delaying. But once you see that, everything can start to change. You stop waiting passively for an emotion to descend from heaven and instead start realizing that some forms of peace are cultivated through surrendered movement. You stop asking why I don't feel peace yet, and let me reiterate this in a way that your heart can bear. Stop waiting for the feeling of peace and make the decision that leads to it. Stop standing at the riverbank and asking the waters to part while refusing to intervene. Stop demanding the calm of arrival while refusing the discomfort of let me go even deeper. Because I know there is a part of you that fears what I am saying could be misused. You may think, what if I force something? So stop asking for the fruit while resisting the pruning. Make the call, set the boundary, delete the access, confess the truth. End the cycle, start the discipline, come back fully. The peace you are waiting for may not float down while you remain unchanged. It may rise inside you as you finally obey. What happens if I don't act peacefully and take the incorrect action? That is a wise concern, and I respect it. I am not advising you to become impulsive, to disregard wisdom, counsel, or discernment, or to make rash decisions in life simply because you are under pressure. What I am talking about are the places where I have already repeated myself, the places where you already understand what I have been saying, the places where the problem is not confusion but reluctance, the places where you have enough light, enough conviction, and enough repetition of my voice, enough inner knowledge, enough holy discomfort, enough clear pattern to understand what needs to change. In those places, stop using your lack of emotional ease as an excuse to put things off. This is where this word applies, and this is where I want command and invitation to meet in a way that becomes incredibly practical. Now ask yourself, what decision have I been waiting to feel peaceful about before obeying? Give it a name, put it in writing, ring it out, and then inquire, has God already made, is this clear? If the answer is yes, then stop waiting for the emotional green light and take the next faithful step. Not the entire staircase, the next step. If the decision is to break the pattern, break it now. If it's to remove access, break it now. If it's to tell the truth, speak it now. If it's to return to prayer and stop living half near me, kneel now. If it's to get help, ask now. If it's to stop the relationship dynamic that keeps ruining your peace, take a step back now. If it's to start the discipline that restores your mind, so start now. You asked for more instructions, so accept them as love with guidance. Quit asking your fear for approval. Quit pulling your emotions as if they are the ultimate authority. Quit waiting for your flesh to celebrate the very decision that puts its old comfort in jeopardy. Pay attention to what I have already said. Take a step while your emotions are still catching up, and then observe what happens. The initial moments may still feel strange. You may feel exposed. It's okay if you experience grief and the absence of the old thing before experiencing the fullness of the new peace. Today, don't run back because the first breath feels strange. Instead, let the peace take root, let the nervous system calm after the decision. Let your mind realize that the decision is real. Let your body learn that not every discomfort means danger. And let your heart discover that relief often comes in layers rather than in a single wave. I want you to visualize this because it might help this truth sink in. Imagine a room that has been overcrowded and cluttered for years. You keep saying, I just want this room to feel peaceful. But every time you look around, the mess overwhelms you. Instead of clearing anything, you sit in the corner and hope that the room will somehow feel calm on its own. My child, the room won't feel peaceful because you wish for peace while the clutter remains untouched. The peace starts when you start clearing the room initially. It may even look messier because things are being moved, dust may rise, old boxes may open, and the process may feel exhausting, but as the clutter disappears, space returns, air returns, and like returns. Eventually, peace does not need to be imagined, it can be felt because the room has changed. That's precisely what I am saying to you. Stop sitting in the clutter of unresolved obedience and waiting for a peaceful feeling to descend. Clear the room, remove what I've named, move what doesn't belong there. Then sit with me there. That's where peace can breathe. My darling, I am not keeping peace from you. I am guiding you toward the decisions that allow it. I am not teasing you with calm from a distance. Instead, I am inviting you into the practical surrender that allows calm to settle honestly. So stop waiting for the feeling first. Make the decision that leads to it. Let obedience create the conditions where peace can finally land in a way that lasts. And when it does, it won't always all at once, but come now, make the decision, trust me through the discomfort, and stay long enough to feel the peace that grows after surrender. It is real, it is coming, but it is connected to the yes you already know you need to give. My dear child, come very close to me now. Do not call it coincidence. Call it what it is, the fruit of a heart that finally stopped asking emotion to lead and let truth take the wheel. That is what I want for you. That is what this moment is asking for. I have walked with you through this entire world for a reason. I have not pressed on your heart this many times just to leave you emotionally and practically full. I do not want this last moment between us to become just another experience you remember. I do not want this to become one more moving message you replay in your mind later and say that touched me, while the same door remains open. The same compromise remains alive, and the same hesitation remains seated in the center of your decisions unaltered. I have not brought you through conviction, clarity, exposure, correction, comfort, warning, invitation, and deep tenderness, so that you could carry it all as a memory rather than allow it to become a turning point. This is the point at which everything I have said must come together into a single, unambiguous, holy response. This is the point at which you cease admiring truth and begin to embody it. This is the point at which you stop saying I know and start saying I will. This is the point at which you stop telling. My child, I want you to feel the weight of this without fear or shame. I am not threatening you. I am calling you into alignment. I am not trying to corner you. I am not asking for some dramatic performance. I am asking for one sincere, decisive, quantifiable act of surrender that demonstrates that this word found real ground in you. If you leave this as a memory, it will gradually become less sharp. In reality, you already understand enough to obey. The old routine will whisper, the old comfort will reach for you. The old excuses will start dressing themselves in softer language, the details will become bleary, the urgency will soften. Your flesh will rebuild its arguments, familiarity will try to reclaim its place. And what felt so clear in this moment could become something you were meant to respond to instead of something that changed your life. I don't want that for you. I want this to be the day you finally moved. May look back and say, I quit bargaining at that point. I stopped circling at that point. I shut the door at that point. I told the truth at that point. I cut off the axis at that point. I stopped using the term delay wisdom at that point. At that point, I ceased pleading for peace while defending what was stealing it. At that point, I stopped relying on feelings and came to a conclusion. I let go of the previous version of myself at that point. At that point, I at last made a costly and liberating agreement with God profoundly. This is not only about the one problem you are facing, my darling. It concerns the type of person you become when you respond to me in this manner. It has to do with what develops in your soul when you quit delaying what I've previously explained. It is about the profound inward change that occurs when your heart realizes that my voice is something to be followed rather than just admired. This is only one area that will be impacted by that change. The next time your response will be different. It will fortify your discernment. Your authority will grow as a result. Your prayers will be purer as a result. Your calm will become more stable as a result. It will teach your spirit that you don't need to engage in constant internal discussion when I speak clearly. You must be obedient. That's maturity. Intimacy is that. That is the realization of trust. So pay attention to what I am saying as plainly as possible. This message should not be forgotten. Don't keep it as a deep emotional experience. Don't remark, I needed that, and then take no action to support your claim. Genuinely accepted it. Turn it into action. Allow it to become a barrier. Allow it to turn into a confession. Allow it to be deleted. Allow it to become a departure. Allow it to turn into a return. Let it turn into a kneeling position. Let it turn into a breach of contract. Turn it into a closed door. Allow it to be the beginning of a new journey. This is where I want the invitation and command to come together in one last, clear location. Before the end of the day, select your answer. Set the action in motion. Don't leave it ambiguous. Put it out there. Hold on. If something needs to end, do so. Should something needs to be removed, so do it. Tell someone if you have to. If you must confess your sins, do so with sincerity. Ask for assistance right away if you need it. Throw away whatever that has to be thrown away. Block access if necessary. If you must return to prayer with all of your heart, kneel and do so. Let later die here if you must cease using later as a hiding location. You requested additional instructions, so consider these latter ones to be the complete power of a father's love. Don't wait, avoid softening, avoid reinterpreting. Don't describe this as overly intense, then return to the familiar. Don't leave the room unaltered. Immediately, incorporate the truth into your next action. Create something genuine based on what I said. Make your answer indisputable. Because I don't want to inspire you. I want to leave you changed. That's the purpose of this last moment. Leave the shadows behind. Enter the light completely. Let this be the time when you moved at last. And now, before this ends, my little child, I wish to communicate with the core of your being. The area that might still be shaking. The portion that understands what I am asking and experiences both fear and attraction. I am aware of that aspect. I am aware of the shudder that lies behind your quiet. I understand the pain that underlies your reluctance. I am aware of the thoughts that attempt to surface during these last moments. What happens if I fail once more? What if this is more difficult than I anticipate? What happens if I let go and feel vulnerable? What would happen if I moved and then lost what I had? What happens if I comply, and the procedure is painful? I am aware of those queries. I long before they became words, you had heard them all in your heart. And I want to respond to them in a way that is unique to me. I shall meet you on the return if you don't succeed after starting. Therefore, don't let your fear of failing prevent you from starting with dignity. Even if it is more difficult than you anticipate, I will still be stronger than anything comes your way. Therefore, don't use hardship as a justification for keeping on with what is already exhausting you. My covering will become more genuine than the fake you have been holding onto if you feel vulnerable when you let go. Therefore, exposure should not be confused with abandonment. Remember that familiarity is not the same as health if you miss the familiar. Therefore, resist the urge to return to what was hurting you due to nostalgia. If the process is painful, let it be the healing pain rather than the suffering that persists in cycles you are all too familiar with. This conveys the entire lesson in a single image there, for I want you to envision it and hold it near, my kid. Picture yourself at the door of a room you've outgrown. The walls are narrow, the air is stale. The furniture is set up around your past coping mechanisms, fears, delays, compromises, emotional patterns, and hidden agreements. Every corner is familiar to you. Every shadow is familiar to you. When you wish to avoid the truth, you are aware of where you often sit. You are aware of the location of the secret entrance. You are aware of how to get by there. And I am holding open another door in front of you. It's brighter in the room beyond. He is more tidy. He has room to breathe. It's not empty. I am present. It's not chilly. I am there. In contrast to what your worry claims, it is not unsure. It is waiting, covered, held, and ready. However, you are unable to fit all of your old belongings through the doorway that separates the old room from the new one. Later on, the box is labeled the what if box. False comfort was the label on the package. The secret access box. The box marked I'll change eventually. The box marked God understands allows me to postpone. The I need to feel peace first box. The I am under box assault as the gate remains open. Those boxes are too big for you to carry. My child, they can't fit through the doorway. Put them down. Now put them down. Place the delay box on the ground. Place the excuse box on the ground. Place the secret agreement box on the ground. Place the emotional dependency box on the ground. Place the compromise box on the ground, then enter the room with nothing in your hands. Lighter, enter the next room. Enter the next room with honesty. Enter the following room without the backup strategy. Enter the following room without the previous script. Enter the next room without insisting that your emotions come first. Ivy made it apparent that I am here, so come into the next room. This communication serves as both my last invitation and my last directive. Go now, not the following day, not after another cycle, not after another moment of immoral. Select the act now, step forward, make the adjustment, violate the contract, close the door. Give it back to me completely. Allow your yes to be seen. Allow your surrender to become realistic. Allow your obedience to happen right away. Don't stand there staring back at the old room as though you've left a prize behind. You left behind clutter. You were freed from servitude. Erosion is what you left behind. You left others perplexed. You departed with a delay. A flawless life devoid of challenges is not what lies ahead. However, it is a life that is purer, more authentic, more liberated, more in harmony, and where your deeds and your prayers cease to clash. All along I've been calling you to this. So grasp my hand and move through the door. Let this be the time when you moved at last. On this day, let your life cease revolving around the same problem and begin to move forward beside me. I am present. I am prepared. I don't wait for you to be flawless. I am awaiting your affirmative response. Now give it to me. You have heard my call to leave the old room and enter the life I am prepared for you, my dear child. Additionally, by responding now, you can assist others in finding the same gateway. The message that you got today is a fire. Additionally, you are providing oil to the lamp so that the light continues to burn for countless souls when you support this work with a PayPal gift or a special thanks membership. In Malachi 3:10 I said, "Bring the whole tithe and see if I will not open the windows of heaven. And over every heart that chooses generosity for my kingdom, I utter that promise." What you let out turns into a river that spreads my message farther than you can see, influencing people you might never meet in all of eternity. Your giving turns into a seed. The crop is multiplied beyond your wildest expectations by me. This goes beyond a simple donation. It involves taking part in heaven's work as it moves across the earth. Therefore, let your faith manifest itself in action if this message really became the moment you moved it. Step into this act of obedience right now by supporting this mission with a super thanks membership or by using the PayPal link in the description. After you've answered, let your heart to relax into the silence that comes with compliance. In order for a massive wave of my truth to smash over the dry, dying nations, I am asking you to toss your seed into the rushing waters of this ministry, declaring that the one who does abundantly will likewise reap abundantly. I am angrily knocking on the door of your heart. In order to finance this last incredible harvest, I would like to collaborate with your radical faith. This is a crucial time for prophecy. When I have plainly and unequivocally told you to proceed, do not allow the enemy to whisper reluctance into your ear. I swear that the gift you release today will unleash an incredible flood of heavenly favor, ferocious protection, and unimaginable provision for your whole family. Click the super thanks button and step out in extreme obedience right now. Become a devoted member or use the PayPal link in the description to submit your urgent offering. Don't hold off till tomorrow. Watch me transform the world through your devoted hands as you sow your holy seed right now. Amen.